Hey everybody, welcome back. The stream. Oh god, I have to readjust this. I haven't done this in a while. So, welcome back everybody. Hopefully everything looks and sounds nice. I made a couple changes with settings, so I don't know how good it's gonna work. Um, do tell me if I have to change anything, because we are very much experimenting. I got a new camera, so hopefully everything looks nicer. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. And I made some changes just simply with my OBS. Hopefully that should make things run smoother, but if it doesn't, do tell me. So we're gonna be getting back into working on these on Fuchsia, playing a guitar. So we're probably gonna be mostly working on the hair today and laying down some basic colors. And I want you guys to help me decide on the colors of the guitar and the skirt, because I still haven't decided on that. Sounds and looks just fine to me. Thank you, Elf. That's very encouraging. I'm glad it works. I also made some changes with my setup for my green screen, so hopefully it should look better than before. And I got a new smudge guard because my old one, which I have here, was really beat up. It was really old. It was like 4 years old, and I actually had to sew it back several times again because it's completely falling apart. And they're actually really hard to get here in Costa Rica. And I couldn't really afford to ship them in from the US because, you know, shipping stuff internationally is expensive. So I finally managed to get a new one, so I'm really happy for that. So let's get started. I missed painting quite a bit. So I've been kind of working on these offline a little bit, but not much. You guys didn't miss much. I'm hoping we can finish laying down the basic colors tonight. Hopefully. How are you, Elf? Hope you're doing good. I saw that you went live earlier today. Sorry I didn't make it. I just got back from Florida like 2 days ago, and I don't know. I'm getting settled again, and yeah. So I'll try to make it to your next stream, hopefully. Yeah, I'm actually gonna cut out Elf. Make sure to follow the Elf. They just got back into streaming. They've done a bunch of Minecraft stuff. They're a good friend of mine. They're really cute. Kicks, hey Kicks, welcome back to the stream. How's it going, my dude? It's nice seeing you. Dun, 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 dun. We're just working on these painting of my OC Fuchsia. Most of you are probably familiar with her. I've drawn her quite a few times. But if you aren't, feel free to check my socials. I'm doing well, just completing some overlay work while I watch the Olympics. Oh, that's cool. Overlays for your stream? Actually, do you stream? I think you do, but I don't think I've ever made it to one of your streams. If you do tell me, and I'll give you a shout out. You're probably bigger than me, so it won't do much, but hey, we gotta support each other. Small creators. I've been doing well, been having fun getting back into streaming. I'm glad you're having fun. That's what it's all about. And I am glad that you all could make it here. I'm always afraid when I go away for any particular period of time that people will just never come back and they'll just forget. So it's always nice to see people actually show up. I'm failing to keep to a rough schedule. That's okay. I'm bad with the schedules as well too. Oh, what happened there? Hey, camera, don't do it. This is a new camera. It's still kind of finicky, the settings. So I'm still messing with them. I think I want to maybe mess with the colors a bit because I think I look a bit dead. Yeah, so it is for my future streams. I'm about to serve the military in Singapore, so I'm currently putting streaming on hold. Oh, I see. That's quite crazy. Here where I live in Costa Rica, we actually don't have a military. I think we're probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest country with without a military or something like that. So the best of luck with your service, and thank you for your service too. So yeah, that's cool. Um, Here's a shout out for you for your future streams. Thank you, brother. Of course. I did not know you were from Singapore. Nice to know. You got an international audience over here. I mean, I pretty much always have an international audience because most of my audience is like from the US, and I'm from Costa Rica, so I guess it's always international technically. Or like, um, from somewhere else other than the US and Costa Rica. I really missed painting. I'm having a lot of fun getting back into this since, for those that don't know, I was in Florida for like a month. I just came back a couple days ago, because I was getting the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. So that's really exciting. So that's why I've been away. The really also like really nice thing that happened. Hey Steph, how's it going? How's it going, my friend? Everybody say hi to Steph. She's a really good friend of the channel. She's an amazing artist, so do make sure to follow her. But yeah, I got the COVID vaccine, and the other really nice thing that happened over at Florida is that I actually managed to get some of my stuff printed out like professionally, like really well done. Cause I've been meaning to get some of my art printed for a while here in Costa Rica, but there's like no printing studios. There's like a couple printing places, but none of them are like suitable for like art. They're all like for office stuff or like for advertising stuff. And it was crazy because I looked like for months here for a nice printing place, and I managed to find like a mediocre one. And in the US, I literally like it was like a 5 minute like Google search, and I found like several really good places. But yeah, I got a couple watercolor pieces digitized and printed for my friends Nila, Chloe, and Ellie. So I'll be sending that to them. And I actually talked with them, asked them if there was a possibility of like printing stuff, like they could print stuff and then they send it here to Costa Rica. Um, so yeah, in the future maybe I can sell prints, which I really want to do. So I'm gonna be working on that for a while. Hopefully we can open a store later down the road. Ooh, fully vaccinated now? Yes, fully vaccinated. It's very exciting. I can feel the 5G already. Get vaccinated, everybody. Don't listen to fucking conspiracy theories. They're bullshit. It's going still. It's going still trying to figure out these shortcut keys I wanted to use. Yeah, that's complicated. But shortcuts always do make your process a billion times easier. So they're totally worth it. Yeah, honestly, don't really use many shortcuts for streaming. I mostly keep my keyboard for the art side. Oh, that's so awesome. Yes, I was so happy. So yeah, I hope the whole actually getting stuff printed and internationally and setting up an art print store like does go through, because money is scarce lately, so it's gonna be nice to have that. I got my first dose the other day. I got COVID arm. Oh, dude, I feel you. My arm was like going to fall off for like 3 days. It's kind of weird because actually on my first dose, I basically didn't even feel it. It's probably one of the least painful like vaccines I've or like injections I've ever had. Like even the like my arm was basically not sore at all, and I had no side effects like in the slightest. But then for the second dose, I was dying like for like the next 2 to 3 days. You got the 5G? Yeah, of course. We got that 5G. If you notice the stream is like higher quality, that's why the internet's better. Um, mm, I'm very excited for Nila and Ellie and Chloe to get the art I sent them, because they're my besties. I love them. I only have one shortcut, and it's mute myself whenever someone knocks the mouse. I hope your arm feels better. Yeah, it's better now. It was really bad for a couple days. It's better now. Hey, that's actually a really smart shortcut. I should make that one for myself. Because every now and then, like somebody will forget I'm streaming and they'll like come and like move my green screen over. So having like a turn off camera and mute myself for that would be really useful. I said not to get any side effects, so I was fine in both doses. Oh man, you made like the right choice. I don't even know I told the doctor like, yeah, I want the side effects, of course. I decided to get, oh shit, I decided to get like the side effects combo. You're a smart one, Brandon. Also, everybody, it's Brandon's birthday, so make sure to wish Brandon a very nice day. And his brother Christian, I don't think he's here, but he still wish him happy birthday. So yeah, it's a DLC, of course. That's a side effects DLC. So yeah, Brandon, hope you had a nice birthday, my dude. Okay, but COVID arm is basically what people have been calling your immune system overreacting to the vaccine. Apparently, it's pretty rare, but basically my arm is itchy. There's a hard lump under it, and it swarms to the touch. I've been taking Benadryl and ibuprofen for the past 3 days. Holy shit! Yeah, I'm glad I didn't have that. Oh, I'm sorry, Steph. Hopefully, you feel better soon. But yeah, like the immune system, the immune system not just fucking sucks. I totally know, like I've had a few experiences with it like overreacting and decided to like wage a civil war to just fight itself. Um, Sometimes when I get particularly bad allergic reactions to stuff, because I have allergies, my immune system will decide to war with itself, and I had it. I was a couple months ago, which was not fun. It usually happens about 7 days after you get the first dose and can happen sooner after the second dose. It's also not life-threatening or anything, just annoying. I see. Well, I'm glad it's not dangerous. I went rock climbing today with my cousin, so my hands hurt a lot because I rubbed a lot of skin off, and tomorrow I have weights in practice, so it's gonna hurt. Oh, I didn't know you did rock climbing. Brandon, you suddenly got like beat as fuck. You're like suddenly like the boulder, the mountain. Brandon's the mountain. You could climb Brandon. Like Brandon could be like the rock climbing wall. Me too. I started panicking a little bit when I found out what it was. Then I read about it and I was like, oh, I low. But I'm also used to my body overreacting to everything too. Yeah, it'd be like that. When I had hives, like the one thing I can say about hives is that you'll discover that certain body parts that you did not know could itch will itch, and it's really bad. You're like, I didn't know that could hurt. Like, I didn't know that body part could do that. Huh. It sucks. Um, it was my first time doing it in like years, but I think I might take it up again. It's pretty fun. Yeah, that's nice. I started roller skating recently. I can show you guys my skates. I have them over there. Give me a second. Didn't realize how trash I was till today, so I'm gonna have to get better. Yes, with time. With time, will get better. Here. Oh god, green screen. It's not even green. Why does this happen? Here. My babies. Um, Halloween is almost. Yes, Halloween is here. It's fucking crazy. Like, I feel like last Halloween like just happened. Um, I'm so fucking excited. Boulder, and you just mentioning that made my hands hurt. Come on. I didn't know you bouldered too well. That's great. Congratulations. We got climbers over here or whatever. I don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying? I know it's August, but August is close to autumn spelling, therefore it's peak season. Yeah, yes, exactly. I get what you mean, Steph. I mean, if we're gonna be honest, every day should be Halloween, but you know, you can you can only like society can only take so much, but but yeah, in a perfect world, every day would be Halloween. Um, what's that one thing they say in was it in like Mean Girls? Was it the Mean Girls musical? Like her favorite holiday is Halloween because you can be whoever you want and you can be sexy. I forget. I mean for me it is. I haven't in ages because COVID, but I miss it. Oh, dude, I totally feel it. During like COVID, I was missing doing basketball quite a bit. Right now, if I'll be honest, I'm actually kind of tired of basketball. Um, but I'm probably not gonna quit because I'd feel bad for the rest of my teammates. Not that I am particularly good and that me leaving would make a big difference, but like I don't know. I like to think they would miss me. Oh yeah, I tried doing one where you have to jump to another part of the wall to grab hold. Tried it like 5 times but couldn't. That's where I hurt my hands the most. So yeah, that seems painful. Seems like a really cool sport. My friend Lilith over at Celtics' Discord posts videos of them like climbing all the time, and it looks really fun. I'd love to try it sometime. I was actually looking at videos of what's it called, um, of the women's flat track roller skating derby association, and it's holy shit, it's really, it's such a cool fucking sport because I know with like roller skating derbies before, from like Batman, because there's like a book about like Harley Quinn where she is in like a roller skating derby, and just from like other movies and stuff like that from like media. But I'd never actually seen a roller skating like a proper roller skating derby, and like holy shit, they're so fucking violent. It's the best sport. If I can do those kind of jumps, because I'll hurt my shoulder. There's a roller derby team here. Oh, there is. That's cool. That's very cool. So yeah, I've been watching that all day. It's been really fun. Let's see. Let's focus. What are we doing? I should remove that purple from the ears. Hey, Brandon! Thanks for the sub. Welcome to the gas station Coven, cutie. That reminds me. Now that we're reading up Coven, Steph and 20 pagans in chat. Happy Lunasad. Lunasada? Lamnas Festival. I don't know how to pronounce it. But happy Lunasada. Or however you say it. I know it was technically August 1st, but I totally forgot to wish any like people a happy Lunasada. Which I can't say it either. Nobody can. I've never met somebody that actually knows how to say it. So the L festival. Happy L festival. Hope you had a nice one. Since I didn't do anything yesterday, I actually made some Rice Krispie treats with my sister, which was kind of like her idea and not like for Luna said it, but in my heart it was. Happy Equinox thingy, exactly. Wait, what is it? It's a pagan holiday, Brandon, about the equinox. Here, let's see. I have like a book where I write things down. I forget it. What the lunas? No, the lunas is for harvesting. I believe it's the first harvest of the year. I think. Let's see. Like I have this book. It's a exactly. It's a Celtic holiday to celebrate the beginning of the harvest. I think exactly. There you go. It's the first harvest of the year. I have like this book where I write down like different like pagan things I learn about. I guess it's like a book of shadows. I agree more, right? And I kind of like write my stuff about like information about the different holidays and stuff. That those pages are empty. There's one for Lisa, and then Mabon, but like not all of them are filled. And I also draw on it a little. I also have like my sigils there. So yeah. But yeah, it's the as Self said, it's the fifth. What was that? Okay, let's ignore that. I hope maybe you guys could hear that. Like I feel like a bunch of things fell. But yeah, it's the harvest. But I also don't really follow religion as far as Minecraft goes. I just want to trust my custom. Some like England area stuff. Where? Okay, we're getting into the subject, and excuse me, because this is about to turn into like educational, just chatting stream. So let's actually bring something that's thematically appropriate. Where's that artwork? You. I made it. So Celticism. What were the Celts, and where does the word Celt come from? So the word Celt actually comes from Roman. They didn't actually call themselves the Celts. It was actually, I forget which Roman emperor exactly, but some Roman emperor wrote about them. True. I'll do them. Okay, I'll do them before we get into this. Yep. Oh shit. I have to take all these rings. And he was procrastinating. You guys can see me from there, right? That's what I was thinking. I know I wasn't. I was never. Also, I got this green like hoodie, which I was really excited for because if you guys probably have seen how I draw myself on like my profile pictures, or like on my own profile picture. Now let's draw myself like a black shirt and a dark green like coat on top, right? It's like I can cosplay as myself, I guess. I don't know. That sounds kind of weird, but I'm on brand now. But yeah, I made this artwork a while ago. I'm out of breath. See what you do, Brandon? You shouldn't have subscribed. Jackie, subscribe as much as you want. Actually, well, I have to go. Oh, okay. Thanks for dropping by. But yeah, hope you had a nice birthday, and I love you, my dude. See ya. Um, but yeah, the Celts. So like some Roman emperor like made up the name Keltos to refer to them. I'm sure it has some etymology. I don't know what it exactly means, but that's from the world where the word Celtic comes from, and they're like a culture that originally they were like all over Europe. It wasn't just England or Ireland, as most people think. They're actually all over Europe. There's evidence of them existing in the Hispanic, like, or I mean, the Iberian Peninsula, so modern day Spain, and through all out Europe. And I think there's like technically a theory that there were like Celts in China, but that's completely unsubstantiated. There's very little evidence, so don't even like, it's probably not true. And I haven't really found any proper sources for that, so who knows. But yeah, they were all over Europe. They were incredibly widespread, and there's actually very little we actually do know about them because they didn't have a writing system. There's evidence that they were Celts that knew how to write using the Roman system, but otherwise they didn't have their own writing system. Partially because I believe their belief system thought that whenever you wrote something, that would like diminish the memory of it, right? And so that's personally one of the reasons I think they're so impressive as a culture. I think just as a culture, they're like perfect example of like persistence. It's like they don't have a writing system, yet they were like one of the most widespread cultures ever, and it's like crazy how successful they were without having being able to write. And yeah, lots of like neo-pagan modern holidays actually come from Celticism. May Day, Beltane, Litha or Midsummer, Luna Cell, Samhain, okay, Halloween. I think is like more Nordic. But this artwork, I put it up because it's based on the Celtic goddess Brigid, who has a goddess of doctors, a goddess of poets, and a goddess of what's it called, smiths. Some of the literature, which is very confusing because as I said, they didn't write, but there are a couple books that were written by people for like thousands of years after the Celts were basically gone, and they were just written down versions of like things that were passed down through oral tradition, and it's the best sources we have, but they're all still very very much biased, very clearly, because one of the books that's a major source for Celtic tradition was actually written by Christians, and the first chapter of the book is actually just an Irish version of the Book of Genesis, so it's an incredibly biased book. But still the closest thing we have. The other best thing we have is actually an artist called Lucas de Here, which is what I based her clothing off of, on top of a museum piece of a real dress called the Shrine Run gown, which is in the Museum of Ireland. So every single piece of like jewelry and clothing she's wearing is based on an actual museum piece. And the boar in the Celtic mythology, there's a boar called the Torctraeth, which was said to be the king of the boars, or the king of the pigs. And in one of the passages of one of those books, they actually mentioned that she owned this said boar. That's also a big reason why some people don't take pictures of their altars, their magic tools and stuff, because they believe the photo will steal some or all of the magic from them. Yeah, I've heard some of that. I know a lot of people like really don't like showing their Book of Shadows or their grimoires to the public. They're very very private, and I usually don't like sharing mine. But I like you guys, so I'm totally willing to win for you guys. But yeah. So that's That's some of the history behind it, and this is one of the first ever artworks I made of Fuchsia. I don't even have a Book of Shadows. Yeah, it's honestly one of my favorite things to have because I think a nice way to like sort through your like your opinions on different things, on your I don't know, and the different things that you learn. I think it's really nice. But yeah, that's the good thing about like this whole thing. I have a tarot deck, a few spell jars, south, and then I kinda have bullshit the rest. Ooh, has a bullet journal instead of the bullet journal is your Book of Shadows. Sure, that's to each their own. Like it works just the same. If it works for you, then it works for you. Here, I'm gonna bring some of my other stuff. Now that we're on these subjects, I'm not gonna shut up. Okay, I'm here. So this is some of the stuff that I have. I have this deck, which is brand new. I got it in the US, but they don't sell it here in Costa Rica. This is Yoshi's Chitani's deck, which I really enjoy because it's all the cards are based on mythology. As you guys might or might not be able to tell, I really like mythology. So without like looking at the booklet or like descriptions of the cards, the first thing that I did was basically go through them and see which myths I recognized. And my friend Lily Louis Art. She's an artist. She also does actually tarot readings, and she uses. Why do you keep doing that? And she uses this same deck, and I really like when she's doing readings to like sometimes help afford, or like I've helped her in the past slightly, not very much because I don't like intervening with somebody else's reading, but I helped her in the past that they like, hey, that card actually like comes from that myth, and maybe you can like find something like some meaning in that. You're gonna go dancing around your house, banging a wooden spoon or a metal pot to clear out the demons that are singing. Get up from my house. This is my house, and I feel like right, you do it. Yeah, exactly. You just do whatever you want. I like vacuuming to eat the bad energy or just yelling and spray the fuck out. That's that's really funny. I love that. I want somebody to make like a fantasy, like a high fantasy story, like a movie or a book, where there's like a witch character, and instead of like being all like magical or ritualistic about it, they're just like that. They're just like get the they're just going around with like a fucking modern vacuum, sucking out the bad energies. I also have this one, Universal Fantasy, and traditional manga tarot. Yeah, like beauty streamers with the hand behind it. With my light, and I have Anna Stokes Gothic Tarot, which I really like. And I also have, which I have to fix the knot because the piece fell off. That like the knot is wrong. I have this one that I made myself a while ago. Because my favorite part, one of my favorite parts about all of these is like the arts and crafts side, because you can do a lot of arts and crafts for these. I want another tarot deck. I just have the wild unknown. Cleaning is just removing the physical manifestation of life, or mundane tasks, like cleaning or even making coffee or cooking are magic. Exactly. Yeah. I think art is magic in and of itself. I have an oracle deck that I love. Ooh. I think my favorite one of all of these is the manga one. At first I thought it'd be kind of like just kind of dumb, but like then I actually looked at the art inside it and like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. We should here. Let's pull a random one. I'm not even gonna shuffle them. I'm just gonna pull a random one from the box. Here. What is it? Four of Wands. So make of that what you will. There is such a thing as art magic. Indeed, there is. The other thing that I have that I really like, that I actually made this one recently, is I really like sigils, right? So I have these things that I carry in my wallet. Where is it? I made this. It's like a little card. It's the size of like a credit card. Art. And I just carry it on my wallet, and it just has my sigils in it. Starring sigils into my drinks. Ooh, steering sigils into. Oh, that's really cool. I never thought of that one. I usually just draw them on stuff. That's really creative. You know, my favorite part of like art streams and streaming art is how they just turn into a just chatting stream so easily. it's the most fun part, I think. So the art is great, I know, but like I like chatting with people because so many like weird subjects just come up. So fun. Ooh, also the other thing that I made. Oh my god, I'm just gonna show off the stuff that I have to you guys. This is a show and tell now. Another artwork that I actually made recently. It's traditional, so let's get a picture of it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Here. So I'm quite good friends with an artist called Celtis. You guys probably already know her because she is a billion times bigger than I am and a billion times more talented than I ever will. She's my favorite artist ever and a really great friend of mine. But I decided to make something for her. I decided to make like a gift for her. So I if you guys don't know, I actually also do embroidery. So you can't see it very well in here, but it made a pillow of her frog mascot for the stream and sent it to her by mail. So I'm really happy with it, and I think she really liked it, so I'm very proud. That's adorable, thank you. I'm thinking that if I do open like an art store, a print store, I also make a like a like a embroidered pillow section maybe, or maybe like because those are harder to replicate, you know, than a painting. Then I'll maybe actually make it like commissions, like embroidered pillow commissions. I feel like that's probably a niche that isn't as saturated as digital illustration, maybe. So I don't know, maybe I'll find success on that with that. That's adorable. Thank you, thank you. Let's see, are we doing this on the right? Yeah, just making sure. Yes, I'm very happy. I'm very happy with the pillow. My only regret is that I am an absolute idiot and forgot to photograph it before sending it to her. So I have no evidence that I made that pillow, other than other than the fact that I sent it to her. But I am actually working on a second one because I thought it was so cute that I want one for myself. Right, so I'm making a replica for myself. Which the thing that kind of sucks about that is that I ran out of like the thread for it, for the outline, like red color for the outline of the frog, which is like a dark green. And I went to the store and they no longer had like the right color. They were out of stock for that one, so I bought one that was really similar, but like slightly more saturated. And honestly, unless you have both of them together, which there's only two and one's in New York, different in Costa Rica, so they probably won't be together. You wouldn't be able to tell that they're a slightly different color, or that the outlines are a slightly different color. But you know, it is what it is. It still bothers me, but it is what it is. We'll have to deal with it. It's not really important. And yeah, I'll photograph that one when I get it and post it. Oh, and the other thing, like the other announcements that I have, we are filled with announcements today. Holy shit! So much has happened over these like months that I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if it's still up. So there you go. I made a Tiltify. Oh shit! Wrong command. Tiltify. There you go. So a couple months ago, or a couple months ago by now, you guys might remember that I partnered with Mother of Corals, which is a foundation that works to help um what's it called, restore and rebuild coral reefs around the around the world, because coral reefs are very important. They're one of the most important ecosystems ever. They play a major role in um what's it called, the carbon cycle, because coral polyps, which are the animals that make corals, um or the corals are like a skeleton, an exoskeleton for the coral polyp, which lives within it, right? The coral polyps, they use carbon dioxide to make the limestone for the coral. So they basically help reduce carbon emissions, right? So they're really quite important. On top of that, corals, even though they make up just 1% of the ocean floor, they actually uh, contain more than 25% of all living, like of all marine life. So yeah, they're very important. They're very important. But sadly, corals are actually suffering quite a bit because of global warming and pollution, and they're particularly sensitive to changes in temperature. And as the temperature of the sea rises, they go through this process called coral bleaching, which is basically when corals evict the zooplankton that lives within them. Zooplankton are like these tiny microbes that live within their tissues, and that's why corals are so colorful. Their skin and their exoskeleton and their skin is naturally transparent, and their exoskeletons are naturally white. But because the zooplankton lives within and inside, on top and inside of them and all over them, the zooplankton actually gives them the color. And on top of that, it also uses photosynthesis to create certain chemicals that are important for the coral polyp to live. But when it gets hot, the coral polyps evict the zooplankton, and that it basically commits suicide by doing that. They all die when that happens, and that's why they turn white. So we have to take really good care of them, for our sake and for the sake of all the fishes and the sake of all the corals and stuff. So if you guys have any spare money and you guys can donate, then it's really nice. And if you guys can't, then spread the word. It's really helpful. And Mother of Corals are actually doing their own fundraiser at the moment. They invited me to officially participate on their fundraiser, because this one that I just posted is my fundraiser. They were doing their own and they invited me for it, but because of the Florida trip, I had to say no. I couldn't participate. But I still want to do my best to spread the word and help them achieve their goal of $20,000. I think last week they were at about 10,000, so that's halfway through. And I think this is their second week of the fundraiser, so you guys should definitely help. And if you guys want their link to their Tiltify, even though mine still helps, theirs is in here. So make sure to do. Hopefully you guys can't. Hopefully you guys can't hear that. My sister's like chatting with her friends and just being kind of loud. But I think my mic shouldn't be picking that up. Yeah, I'm really glad Mother Cross actually like did ask me to work with them for that fundraiser, because it's like, I guess, the first time like I get approached by somebody like that, and um you know, it feels nice. I hope I can work with them in the future. They're really good people, and they're working on their work is really important, more important than most people realize. um I'll be honest, global warming and like all that shit really scares me, and this year there's been so much like bad shit with like the weather and tropical like storms and earthquakes and floods and shit all over the world and natural disasters, and it's scary. So I want to do my best to do some environmental activism with Twitch if and art if I can. Really happy because stream seems to be stable and the new settings seem to be working. For the people who've been here for a while, they'll know that for a while I was really struggling with like my internet going down on the stream, disconnecting and stuff. Like a couple weeks. It's nice not to have happen, and I hope I'm not jinxing it. Oh my friend Chloe is going on a backpacking trip. I won't be able to talk to her for a while. I wanna miss her. I hope she has a great time. Hmm. Enjoy painting Fuchsia's hair. Although it's like very spiky and messy, like, and sometimes it's kinda hard, but it is very fun. I always enjoyed painting hair. It's very, you know, um, wavy and stuff. It's like different from the rest of the body, and you can get a nice motion out of it. And by the way, if anyone on chat has like any nice art they'd like to share, do please feel free to share it. And if you want to, no pressure. But we support each other around here. So artists, feel free to promote your stuff. I have a nice idea, like new stuff. That's fine. You can share whatever you want. I'm just trying to go hard on streaming this year because I know that I've been kind of bad with being consistent so far. Or when I say this year, I mean this I guess school year, because school starts in a couple days. But like from now on, you know, from now until the end of the year, I want to go a bit harder because you know I have fun with it. It makes me do more art and stuff. And I know I've been kind of inconsistent for a while. Mm. What color do you guys think I should make the guitar? I'm scared. I still haven't decided. Hmm. Mm, what else is there? Mm, Make this nicer. The tail hair is supposed to be slightly darker than the hair. I usually don't like color pick like this when I'm doing a character, but for Fuchsia, I like sticking to a consistent palette. Huh? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh wow, my internet like that. I have to fix it. It's pretty good. Oh, you know what else I got recently? I've been splurging a lot of money. I bought pins from Celtics. I just got them on there, absolutely gorgeous. I want to work on making the points of these hairs like actually spiky around later. Nice, yes, I'll get them. I'll get them. They're very beautiful. You guys have to look at them. When I say so. It's my stream. I do what I want. Hey Drew, I'm ready to eat my computer out of the window even though it's doing nothing wrong. I'm just having a hard time with the shortcut thing. Oh no. She drew a little froggy, which is very cute. There. Here, business card though. She wrote a really nice letter to me, which was very sweet. And she even sent in some like, oh no, green screen. Some really cute froggy stickers. She's a really good friend, like that. Here are the prints. This one's her shelter piece. Ah, by the way, my camera's flipped, so imagine it's the other way. Really pretty. I love it. The light's getting in the way, but you can see it. And then this one is Bishamon from Noragami, which I'm very happy. They're both gorgeous, and she's my favorite artist ever, so I am very happy, and I'm gonna be framing them and putting them on my wall. I wish she sold. She has this painting called Snake Charmer, which is actually my favorite artwork of all time. And that's not an exaggeration. That's my favorite artwork of all time. I adore it. Be really careful with this. I don't want to land anything. Yeah. Okay. I'm always so nervous when I'm like handling prints because I don't want to break anything, bend anything. I'm like creating it as if it were like the original or something. Or at least I try to. I am not. I guess I'm the most skilled person. I'm, I'm, I'm clumsy. Those are absolutely gorgeous. Yes. Here, that's my favorite artwork of hers. Over here, I love it. I wish I could have a print of it, but she doesn't sell it. So maybe in the future. I implore you, Emily, sell it to me. I'll give you all my money. I think it's gorgeous. I would show it full screen, but I think it's slightly spicy, so I don't want to get in trouble with Twitch police. So I'm gonna keep it smaller just in case, just to be careful. I don't know why I like do a full revolution like that when I could just do that. Like I have a key that like the way my shortcuts work. You use Krita right? No, I used to use Krita. Right now I'm using Clip Studio Paint. Um, but a lot of my shortcuts and stuff is like set up to imitate how Krita does it because I'm used to Krita. But right now I'm using Clip Studio Paint. I moved to it like a year ago, I think. But yeah, the way my keys are set up is 1 rotates like that, 3 rotates like that, 2 like resets the rotation, 4 zooms in like that, 6 zooms out, and 5 um resets the zoom. So I don't know why I do a full rotation with 3 or 1 when I can just use 2. But yeah, I don't know what shortcuts to use, but mine's then I use M for rotating the canvas or flipping the canvas. What else do I use? I use Shift. Control to move things, Shift, like that makes line. What else? What else I use? Actually, wait, what is it? Wait, what? One of my um, one of my shortcuts got reset. There you go. Okay, there you go. Fix it. I used Control. I used Control Alt to make the size of the brush bigger or smaller. I don't know why it wasn't working. And I hope I didn't mess up anything. There you go. Alright, cool. I must send you YouTube videos that have some really helpful info on them. You don't have to watch them or whatever. I just want to, but I'm also using Clip Studio now, and these just learn me some things that I don't know how to do in it, and also some tips for working faster. Ah, that's cool. I'll make sure to check them out. Yeah, I really like Clip Studio. I've been using it for like about a year now. It's very useful. I don't know why my shortcut got reset there. Alright, so it wasn't working, but I fixed it. What else do I use? I mean, For my, I also use like my pen thingies a lot. So my top one is for color pick. My bottom one is to go back to the pen tool. What to do now? What to do now? I could work on the eyebrows. Make a folder called nice. Let's actually put it under the hair. I just had an idea. I want to do a little experiment. Sorry if that sounded weird. I got really excited because I learned stuff today. Ah, that's okay. It's cute. It's not weird. It's totally fine. But here, let's. I want to do a little experiment. Like new thing. Take a that. Reference. Layer. Edit. Where is it? 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 Colorize. Yep. Wait. How was it that you do this? I forget. I haven't done it in a while. I want to see how. Let's see. I want to see how Clip Studio decides to color this. Did it? Did it not do it? What? Excuse me. Excuse me. What are you doing, Clip Studio? What are the settings for this? Hint, image, and colorize. The image will be able. This feature present. Structures menu. Let's see. How do you do this? I always think this is a really fun thing. This is fun to do whenever like I have line art, and I haven't done it for this one. You can use this colorize setting to get Clip Studio to automatically color stuff for you, and it always has interesting results. Reference here. Okay, we set it as a reference. And that's done. Let's remove the ruler. Relate, specify color and hint. Use the liner that you want to colorize. Select the edit menu, colorize, blah blah. Okay, yeah. So hopefully this should work. There you go. It always, I also find it interesting because it always picks like these colors. It's always like orange, this orangey like skin tone, this weird purples and blues, slightly reds. I've never, and I really wonder why it specifically chooses these colors. It's very interesting to me. And I actually, wonder if it has something to do with like, because um I wonder if it has something to do with like machine learning, like if it selects the colors based upon like the if they like took a like a when they were like teaching the algorithm or like the AI or whatever they use to like colorize. I wonder if they were like using machine learning by like feeding it some other artworks to like try and teach it to color and paint and stuff like that. And so I wonder if the colors that it picks like, because it uses also like these like reds and oranges, like this skin tone, I guess. Here is also like a darker skin tone. So I wonder if like that's why it uses them, because it like sees like lots of like human skin tones when it was learning, so it got used to using those. That's like a theory, I guess. But I have no idea why or how it picks them. Let's see, let's use it with, let's make a hint layer now. So that can be this color, right? And this, like that, over here, over here. Darker purple, tails. Darker purple for the eyebrows, eyes. You for the hoodie. Let's leave the skirts and the guitar up to it because I still don't know what colors to use for those. And then skin tone. Bup, 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 bup. Oh, and the ears. That and like that. So I think select the hint layer on chest. I think this is how this works. Let's colorize. Right, I keep losing it. There you go. Use image. See if it works. Look at that. That's actually not bad. It's almost correct. For whatever reason, it completely disregarded the dark purple for the eyebrows and just made them like the fuchsia, the pink. And it didn't do anything with these purples. Didn't do much with this one. It really darkened these ones and made these like weirdly bright, I guess. Or not really. But it kinda kept the woody dark. I don't know why it made these circles so blue. But I don't know, it's interesting to see how a computer paints, right? And I always find it weird because it's always like kind of like a really soft kind of like spray, like or airbrush, I think that it uses, I guess. And it's always very opaque. It never goes for like really solid colors. Never goes for like solid brush. It's always opaque. I find it quite interesting. Interesting. And I really wonder kind of like how they went about making this whole thing work. But it is good to know that computers won't be taking the place of artists anytime soon. Okay. Oops. But I still managed to mess up the eye. Oh, what happened? Did I not copy it correctly? There you go. Fine, no.
It's too late to turn it in, so you have yourself a time and tell me all about it. One couple. That means a date.
You have to add that back of the ear in there.
Just me and the girl. Well, that's all right. Only, what girl? Oh, yeah.
Headshot. Sit down. Stand up. Pass out. Wake up. Fade it. Fade it.
Now I done grew around some people living their life in bottles. And they had the golden flat. Stroke every day in Chicago. Some people like the way it feels. Some people want to kill their sorrow. Some people want to fit in with the popular. That was my problem. I was in a... Okay. Now open your mind up and listen, Kendrick. I'm in your conscious. If you do not hear me, then you will be history, Kendrick. I know that you're not just right now, and I'm hoping to lead you to victory, Kendrick. If I take another one down, I'm gonna drown in some place, and I'm losing my limit. I think that I'm feeling the vibe. I see the love in her eyes. I see the feeling of freedom is granted as soon as the damage of vodka arrive. This how you capitalize. This is from to it. I still apparently I'm over influenced by what you are doing. I thought I was doing the most, and someone said to me,
decided he'd ask Anne for this first date. But just how should he ask her? And what if she refused? No, it won't be easy asking for that first date.
Say if you a bad bitch, put your hands up high, hands up high, hands up high. Tell them dim the lights down right now. Put me in the mood. I'm talking about dark room perfume. Go, go.
I recognize your fragrance. Hold up, you ain't never gotta say shit. And I know your taste is a little bit hot baseness. Everybody else faces. You live life on an everyday basis with poetic justice.
Other ear.
If I told you that a flower bloomed in a dark room, would you trust it? I mean, I write poems and songs dedicated.
I wonder if Sasha is still live because we're not ending soon. I don't think so or not. But I do kind of like would like to rate her tonight if I can. I want to know if she's still up. I doubt it. She doesn't. I feel like she doesn't go asleep as other artists. Yeah, she stopped. Oh. We can. There's still plenty of people we can rate though. And I haven't said I was gonna try and work on the eyes and then didn't.
Hello, Mr. Davis. This is Woody. I mean, Alan Woodruff. May I speak to Anne?
Yeah, that's not good. I wonder, do you guys like name um your layers or like color code them? Because I used to. I could maybe bring up one of my old artworks for you, but if anyone's interested, but I used to color code all of my folders and layers. I used to like divide my layers into folders. So I have like a folder for like each part of the body or for groups of body parts, right? And each folder would be color coded, and then each folder would have a name, or each layer would have a name. And it made finding things really easily, but it's a lot of work. It takes a while to like color code everything and name it appropriately. So after a while, I kind of just gave up with it. I am gonna color code folders, but not individual layers. But I put line work in one folder and then coloring in another folder. Yeah, the organization that I do now is I usually keep my painting stuff on a folder. The underlayer is just outside, or usually, or sometimes I'll make a folder with the painting and the underpainting, and then I'll have the line art on top. And when I stop using line art, I'll just drop it on a folder here, which is just with all the line art and sketches. And that's usually how I organize my stuff. And then usually I'll have a separate folder for like backgrounds when if I do a background. And I just have my sketch on a separate layer. Yeah. Let's see. Come on, computer. Okay, this is Hel from Norse mythology, Loki's daughter, right? So I usually give each element of the painting its own folder. So I have a folder for the cave, folder for Garmer, this is Doggo over here, a folder for the throne, and a folder for hair. And then usually I have a folder on top where I kind of like mess around with lighting a little bit. And then I have a folder which is just all the sketches. You only just learned that you could color code. Yeah, it's useful. I don't know. I stopped using it. But yeah, this is Loki's daughter. If for those who are interested, I name my liner layer. Then sometimes I'll name groups if it's in a larger piece, especially if there is more than one character. Yeah, I divide it into elements of the artwork and characters. I put on this brooch. That's Loki. That's her mother. Her name is Angerboda. Anger. Angerboda, something like that. She's a Jotun, which by the way, Jotuns in the mythology weren't actually ice giants. Ice giant actually came from a mistranslation from some old book, and then everybody just ran with it. But in the actual mythology, they were neither giants nor ice. They were just another like race, the Jotun. So Loki and Angerboda, and then that's Jormungandr and Fenrir. That's her brothers. That's the family. That's the fam. And Hel is the goddess of death. She's like half living and half dead. And she has a doggo called Garmer, who's like the blood-stained guardian of the underworld. That's his epithet. Loki is actually really interesting. He's one of the gods in Norse mythology that had the most like children, and had his relationship with his family came up a lot in a lot of like myths and stuff. Because he also had a son called Sleipnir, something like that, which is a horse, which he actually gave birth to. Loki gave birth, yeah. He shapeshifted into a female horse and gave birth to Sleipnir, which was then used by Odin. So it's kind of weird that Odin, first of all, used his nephew as a horse, and it's also really weird that Loki had a son with a horse. But what are you gonna do? It's like to each their own. But then Loki also had his like Angerboda and Hel and Fenrir and Jormungandr, his children. And then he had another wife, which was his main wife. Angerboda was kind of like, I guess, just like a side thing. I don't know. He had his actual wife, whose name I actually don't know, but she was actually really loyal to him. They really loved each other, I guess, because when the gods imprisoned him, they put him like they tied him to a rock and they put like a snake on top, and the snake would like spit venom into his eyes. So his wife would spend all day with like a vase, catching the venom so it wouldn't fall in his eyes. Which is kind of cute, I guess. She spent her eternity looking out for him, or at least until Ragnarok happened, and then everybody died, and Loki somehow managed to get away, which is actually a big mystery. Nobody knows how Loki got out of his prison because they never explained it in the mythology, but they also never explain half of the things in the mythology. So yeah. Yeah, Loki's a really interesting figure because most people think of Loki as the god of mischief, but he wasn't actually god of mischief. That was made up. They in the mythology they do actually describe him as being mischievous, but he was never said to be the god of mischief. He's generally agreed by scholars not to be the god of mischief. It's kind of like just a personality trait rather than his god status. It's kind of like saying that there's this YouTube channel called OSP that makes videos about like mythology and history, and they actually put it in a way that I really liked. They said that saying that Loki is the god of mischief is like saying that Thor is the god of breaking things. Thor isn't the god of breaking things, he just likes breaking things. So yeah. So I think Loki is very interesting because yeah, we don't actually know what he was a god of. Nobody ever says what he's a god of in the mythology, and it's a very interesting debate. There's some people that think that he was a god of fire because the word Loki sounds really close to the word Logi, and Logi is the word for fire, but they are not related at all. He's like etymologically speaking. So yeah, not the god of fire. Some other people think he's the god of family because of his like ties to family and how his myths had so much to do with family. But there's also no proof for that. So yeah. Let's see. I've also heard people say stuff like maybe Loki isn't even his real name, because there's this other character in Norse mythology called Utgard Loki, right? And some people have postulated the idea that Loki isn't a name but a title. So both Loki and Utgard Loki, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, and Uthgard Loki are like mischievous, and they're like sorcerers, and right. So the idea is that maybe Loki is not a name, but it's a title to like a magician, or like a witch, or a mage that was like mischievous. So maybe that wasn't even his name, which is quite interesting, right? Um, and some people think he may have also been a god of the hearth. And there's even some people who think that he wasn't even an actual god in the mythology, and he was made up by Christians later on, which is very much possible. The Ragnarok is another example of that. There's a lot of people who think, there's a theory that says that Ragnarok and a lot of like myths weren't actually part of Norse mythology, and they were just made up by Christians, because we have no written sources from Norse mythology. The only written sources we have are the Poetic Edda and the Prose Edda, and they were all written 3,000 years later, the after Norse mythology stopped being, or like the Norse like religion stopped being a thing. They were written by a guy called Snorri. And so yeah, it's fascinating stuff. And that's why we know so little about that whole culture. But I actually and spoilers for the Loki TV show. Some if you guys haven't seen it, it's minor spoilers, but still spoilers. But if anybody like has seen it, you'll know that they show alternate versions of Loki, which is, if you are a comic book reader, then you're completely used to that. Like if you're a comic book reader, the fact that there's multiple versions of the same character from like different timelines or different universe, that's to you like, yeah, whatever. That's completely normal to you. But for most people who aren't comic book readers, it's like surprising and like, whoa, how is that even possible, right? And I think that it's really cool that they actually introduced the idea of having multiple versions of the same character through Loki, and they did it specifically by showing a female version of Loki, which I think is very, very interesting and very appropriate for the character, because as I said, Loki was very much related to family. He's kind of like one of his noteworthy stories that he gave birth to one of his sons, and usually, fertility and family are traits that are usually given to female deities, but in this case they're being given to Loki. And so it's very interesting that I think it's very interesting to that he has kind of like this feminine side, and the fact that they're introducing the multiple versions of the same character through Loki is, first of all, very uh in character, because he would change like shape and shapeshift a lot in the mythology, to play tricks on people, but because he was also known to change shapeshift into like a different gender, which is cool. So I think I really liked that decision. Um, let's see. I think aside from Loki, pretty much the only other really good choice they had for showing multiple versions of, or like other versions from other dimensions of the same character, would have probably been Spider-Man, because Spider-Man's another character that has like a lot of like multiverse stuff going on. Um, but I guess Sony did it with into the Spider Verse, so they probably didn't want to like be too similar to that. But I bet that if they hadn't had if Into Spider Verse wasn't a thing, they'd probably gone for Spider Man. Especially they kind of teased it in Spider Man Far From Home. You can keep the eyebrows and the whites with the eyes in the same way. Oh my voice. Make sure to drink water, you guys. Hey, a Crusader, welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, how you doing? Nice having you here. We are working on my character, Fuchsia, playing guitar. Oops. So I hope you're having a nice day and welcome to the stream. Hope you enjoy it. Actually, let's move the pupils. We're gonna leave those for later. Just paint over them. Up, up. Easy. We can bring them on now. Grab you. And you. Grab you. And drop you there. And you can be on the same layer as the eyelashes. Oh, I also got a bunch of like additional art supplies when I was over at the US. Because like US art stores are so much bigger than stores down here. And they're kind of overwhelming. But I got a bunch of stuff. I got like some water brushes, No, face cam. Water brushes. A couple new paint brushes. Let's see. I got watercolors and wash paints. I was running out of those. And I've never used one of those, but as I showed you earlier, I do embroidery. So I got a punch needle because I want to try doing like this technique that I've never tried before. My embroidery usually just like normal needle and making lines, but you can also use punch needles and it'll look different. And there's also, of course, cross stitching, which is kind of like pixel art, similar, looks kind of like pixel art, pretty cool. Nice, yeah, our art stores are pretty big and we have a lot of stuff in it. It's crazy. Same for bookstores. Um, Bookstores are very much larger in the US than they are here, and with a much bigger selection, which is pretty cool. I also got a bunch of books. I got Vicious and Vengeance. I got Half Sick of Shadows, V for Vendetta, um, a witchy book too. I got a witchy book. What's that? That's not the right color. There you go. Which book you got? Oh, I forget. It's I forget the title. I'll send you pictures later. I was originally planning to buy some computer parts in the US because they're cheaper there than they're here. But like, there's a shortage of like stuff, and computer parts are expensive and hard to get nowadays. So that went out the window. I wanted to get a new CPU and a new motherboard because I'm pretty happy with my GPU and all my other stuff as it is. But I think my CPU leaves some stuff to be desired. And I don't know. I just wanted to get a new motherboard for shits and giggles. Just because. Mm-hmm. I'm here. I'm still so proud of this artwork. I think it's probably one of the best ones I've made. And, like, I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of like the painting of her face. All the textures. This is, I think, probably the best thing I've ever made alongside the tiefling bedrooms. I I think the tiefling bedrooms are slightly better to me, in my opinion, just because they have like a lot of like sentimental value. Have you seen Loki? I have. We were actually talking about Loki a little bit before you got here, I think. I was saying how I found um I found a bunch of like the decisions in the series to be like really interesting considering the mythology, and I really appreciated it. They had a couple references to like mythological Loki. Um, I spoilers to whoever hasn't seen it, right? There was like a whole gag with like him cutting Sif's hair, and to those who don't know, in the mythology, that's an actual myth where like Loki plays a prank on Sif, who's Thor's wife, and cuts off her hair when she's sleeping. And so Thor gets really mad at him and forces him to go to the dwarves to commission them to build Sif new hair. I don't know how that works, but it works. And so Loki goes to like commission them to make new hair, and shenanigans ensue. He plays a couple tricks on them, and basically they end up making a bunch of other treasures, and that's actually how they made Mjolnir. The dwarves end up making Mjolnir. They make um what's it called? Gugnir? Odin's spear. Make Mjolnir. They make Gugnir. Yeah, Gungnir, which is Odin's spear. They make a boat that can be folded and to fit in your pocket. They make a boar that's golden and can run in air, sea, air, water, and land. And they make a coin that multiplies itself every couple days, and they give it to the gods. And yeah, actually, and the reason why like Thor's like why Mjolnir's like handle is so small is because Loki decided to play a prank on the dwarf while it was forging it, and so he turned into a fly and like stung him in the eye, which made him like mess up and make the handle like too short. Should we work on the face now? Still don't know what color to make the guitar. Let's make the nah. Yeah, let's make the strap for the guitar, whatever that's called. I'll just make that one like a dark gray. I also watched Black Widow, which was really fun. I really enjoyed it. It was pretty good. It was very good. Very different from any other MCU film. There is one thing about it, like one single thing. that to me is one of the most disappointing things in all of the MCU, and they completely fucked up with that. But it's and I am genuinely really sad that they messed up this one thing, and I won't say what it is because it's a spoiler. It's a pretty big spoiler, and but it's the kind of thing that unless you're a comic book reader, you won't care about it. So it won't affect most people. It genuinely made me really sad. But aside from that, really great movie. Very different from all of the MCU stuff, much darker. Definitely watch it, you guys. It was very fun. Yeah, Black Widow was fun. What inspired you to make that? What inspired me to make this character? That's a good question. What inspired me to make this character? I originally made Fuchsia like what? Probably 4 years ago now. Her name is Fuchsia. And I don't have the original drawing with me right now. But it was actually completely different color scheme. Like design was fairly similar. She had the streak, but instead of being fuchsia or pink, it was purple, and then her hair was blue. So she had a darker color scheme, and she wasn't originally a cat. But I don't know. I think I was really at the time I was like trying to make an OC, and I don't know what inspired me. Really, she just kind of came from the depths of my mind. Just randomly. There's actually when I first made it. Oh, there you go. You said it. You said it. You said it. Okay, spoiler to whoever didn't to whoever haven't seen the movie, but that's it. Taskmaster sucked. That's basically the gist of it. I loved the movie, but Taskmaster was such a fucking disappointment. They could, and it's not the fact that they changed the character, because to me, if they're gonna change a character, as long as it's still a good story, then go ahead, like change it. But the fact is that Taskmaster went from being a character to not being a character. Like they just straight up didn't have a character in the movie, which sucked. But yeah, sorry if that was spoiled for anybody. But yeah, you nailed you hit the nail on the head. Taskmaster sucked. And as I said, it probably won't affect most people because most people probably don't know who Taskmaster is. But if you know who, but if you've had any experience with them in the comics or in the cartoons and other media, then you'll probably be disappointed because he is very cool. Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. I'll definitely check out her stuff. After stream, Steph. Thanks for the link. Oh, now you. Speaking of Disney Plus shows, what are your thoughts on Bad Batch? Oh no, I haven't gotten to watch Bad Batch. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. I'm a really big Star Wars fan. I promise. First, but I haven't gotten to watch it because I've been when it came out, like I had like school exams, so I was really busy with that, and 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 I don't know. Then I was out of the country for most of this month because I live in Costa Rica, and like the vaccine is really hard to get here. So I went to the US to get it, and I just got here like a couple days ago. So I've been super busy lately, and I haven't gotten to watch Bad Batch, but I really want to watch it. I hope it's good. So let's not spoil that one. Um, But yeah, I absolutely adore Clone Wars, and I can't wait to see what they do with Bad Batch. I'll be honest, I kind of really don't like most of Disney's Star Wars. I much prefer the old Star Wars, and I miss the old expanded universe. I miss Darth Revan, he was my favorite. But Mandalorian kinda reignited my love for Star Wars, reignited my faith. And the same for like the last season of Clone Wars. I think the last season of Clone Wars was absolutely incredible, especially the last episodes. Those were absolutely masterpieces. So I hope that Bad Batch is good. And yeah, um, let's see. Where is it? I made some Star Wars like fan art a couple ago. Here, this isn't. This is like a character I made up. This is like my Star Wars, like I guess OC. Her name is Valerie, and she's of course inspired by Ahsoka. So I'm a big fan of Ahsoka. Uh, but yeah, this is like the homeworld of the Togruta, which are like these species, like in Star Wars. They're called the Togruta, and I kind of called it like the Siege of Shili because it's kind of like the Siege of Mandalore. So it's a reference to that, and I made up kind of like this is like the her clone commander, and I really like purple, so I made them purple. And yeah, I'm really proud of this artwork. I really like it. Um, I'm really happy with how she came out. It was fun making her a bit more muscular because I like drawing muscular characters. Not too muscular because too many muscles are really hard to do, but like I guess more like feet is really fun. And I think that a Jedi would probably be really buff. Like in my mind, if you were to look at Yoda without a shirt, even though he's small and old, he's probably like shredded. Because like Jedi they're like warriors. They're like ultimate warriors or whatever. They're like OP. So they must work out quite a bit. I think so. It makes sense in my head. Also, another reminder of the Mother of Coral stuff. So, Tiltify. So you guys can do the Tiltify link. You guys can donate to Mother of Corals. They're a fundraiser, charity, non-profit that I've worked with a couple times in the past. They work to um, rebuild and restore corals all around the world. They're very important because corals play a very major role in the carbon cycle. Coral polyps, which are the animals that make the corals are their exoskeleton, use CO2 and other materials to make limestone, to make their exoskeletons. That is very important because it helps reduce carbon emissions. The ocean is our largest carbon sink, even bigger than the Amazon rainforest or any other rainforest in the world. So yeah, they're very important. They also, even though they only make up 1% of the ocean floor, they contain 25% of all marine life. So taking care of corals is absolutely vital. And if you guys can donate, then that's amazing. If you can't donate, then spread the word. It helps a lot. And if you guys want to donate directly to them, this is their own fundraiser that's going on right now. They have a goal of $20,000, and they are at 10,000 so far. So please help if you can. It really does make a difference, and it is probably one of the most genuinely like one of the most important causes right now, especially like I feel like this year, like global warming and natural disasters have been more prevalent than ever before, and it's kind of scary, but you know, we have to fix it. We have to take care of our environment before we all fucking die. So please, 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 if you can help, then please do it, and if you can't, then at least spread the word. It's all about education. The more people we can educate about the importance of these wonderful creatures, the better. And if I could teach at least one of you guys about corals and their importance, then my mission is complete. They're absolutely fascinating creatures. They are cnidocytes. They're part of the family Cnidocyte, which means, or Cnidaria, I mean, which means they have cnidocytes, which are a specialized type of cell that they have usually in their tentacles, which is used for stinging and capturing prey. So the way coral polyps work is they're usually kind of like a stomach. Their body is kind of like a little sac, a little stomach, and they have like tons of tentacles, little arms, and a mouth in the middle. So they use their tentacles, which have cnidocytes, to capture prey and then eat it, right? And then around their sac, there's their body, which is like a tiny sac. There's the exoskeleton, right, which is the coral part that we see. Within their cnidocytes, they have what's it called? Nemat. Right. Nematocysts, that's the word. Nematocysts, which are specialist organelle, which basically functions to inject toxins into the prey, and it's an incredibly advanced mechanism. It's honestly really really cool. You guys should look into that totally. And yeah, coral polyps, they can be really tiny. They live in colonies of hundreds of thousands, and together they make coral reefs. And what else? You know, they can. There's also some that are relatively large. There's some corals that polyps that just one is kind of like this size. They're pretty big. Mostly, what's it called? Mushroom corals are the big ones. Most of them are small, but mushroom corals get pretty big. The other like cnidocytes, the other types of cnidocytes are jellyfish, both true and false jellyfish, because there's different types of jellyfish. There's different like jellyfish. There's like the true ones and the false ones, which there's like physiological differences for that. There's also anemones, and hydras. Hydras are a type of cnidocyte. There's Cubozoa, that's a family within them, which is, I believe, like a type of like jellies, false jellies. And on a similar like note, another like animal that we must take care of that's very much related to colors is parrotfish. Parrotfish are some really really beautiful fish. They have goofy, ugly faces. Their faces are absolutely atrocious. It's honestly really sad that anyone has a face that ugly. I mean, it's not like I can say much. I'm not necessarily very good looking myself, but like they're bad. But their colors are absolutely gorgeous. If you ignore their face and look at only the colors, they're absolutely gorgeous. Um, they're really amazing fish. They are what's called a pitch builder because they have, like, I think the strongest, either the strongest or the second strongest teeth in the animal kingdom. And they can actually bite through rocks. And so when they bite through rocks, they're actually accomplishing two things. The first one is they can eat algae that other fish can't reach, so they keep algae population in check. The other thing they can do when they eat rocks is that they crush the rocks into smaller pieces, and then when it makes it through the digestive system, it comes out as sand. So they literally make sands. So yeah, a lot of sands are actually parrotfish. A lot of white sand beaches are actually parrotfish poop. Um, and so they're very important because keeping algae population in check is very important. They can absolutely decimate coral reefs and other ecosystems, and beaches are very important because lots of things live in there and shit, and yeah, parrotfish are very important. Very much. So they're also just fascinating in general because they actually switch genders. Not all species of parrotfish function like this, but for some species uh, that are social, they live in groups. Um, they live in schools, right? And usually the schools we have a leader that's a male, and that the school will usually be comprised of females and one male, and the male is a leader, right? And the male has breeding privileges with the females, and usually the male is much bigger than all the other ones. But if the male dies, then the biggest female will actually go through a process in which she transitions gender into becoming male and becomes the new leader. So that's very fascinating. Yay for transgender fish, right? They also uh, have some species of parrotfish, they have like a gland on the top of their head that secretes mucus, and they actually make a bubble out of it, and they go into the bubble and they sleep inside the bubble, and it's really freaking cute. And the reason why they do that is because it protects them from parasites while they sleep. That's weird. It is kind of weird, but it's cute. I think it's cute. Here. Fish. Bubble. It's like a sleeping sack. See? They sleep inside the bubble and it keeps them safe. Yeah. Parrot fish. See, they have really ugly faces, but their colors, like, look at those colors, they're gorgeous. Like, if you ignore their face, they're really pretty. But sadly, they're eaten by people, right? They're fished. Particularly in Japan, they use them to make food out of them. And in the Caribbean, they also fish them quite a bit. So there's a lot of parrotfish fishing in Japan and Latin America, in the Caribbean specifically. And I'm not saying that we should completely stop fishing them, but we should put laws in place to regulate the fishing of parrotfish, because they're incredibly important. They, as I said, make beaches, they keep algae populations in check. Other fish actually depend on them because they actually protect other fish from predators. I wonder how they taste. Yeah, I wonder how they taste too, but I don't know. I wouldn't eat them because they're very important. I don't want to support the fishing of parrotfish. And I'm not saying that we should completely give up on them because clearly they're part of like Japanese culture, and I mean, you know, so it's also like kind of like unfair to just say never eat them again. But we should definitely regulate them because they're fishing them does a lot more damage than good. Genuinely really bad to fish them. I believe coral reefs were When there's overfishing of what's it called, of parrotfish, they have been statistically shown to have a reduction in efficiency by about like 25%, 25 to 50%, something like that. So yeah, protect parrotfish. On top of, they're living creatures. They're living sushi time. They're living creatures, and they deserve to be alive. They have rights too. They're fish, but they have rights too. And they should be protected. Another reason why I really like Mother of Corals as a organization is because they don't just like go in and tell people to stop fishing or to stop consuming fish or to stop, because fishing is very important for a lot of people. There's entire communities that depend on fishing, right? So on top of like helping fix corals and helping restore corals and helping uh, endangered species and stuff like that, they also help educate the communities that depend on fish and teach them not only just how to be more how to be more ecologically friendly, but they also teach them how to keep on fishing in a more sustainable way. So they help better economies, like the economies of these places, and they help the environment, which is very, very cool. What do you like to draw the most? I mean, most of my artwork is characters. Character design is my favorite thing. I like drawing characters. I like making up characters. Or making my interpretation of characters. Um, I made these two artworks of Brigid and Hel. You can see them on my social media. And they're both based on goddesses from Celtic and Norse mythology. So I also like trying to interpret um historical mythological figures like that. And I try to be as respectful to the real culture because those are real cultures, are real mythologies. People do actually believe in them or believed in them. So I believe it's important to be true to how like the real mythology conceived them, right? Um, but yeah, so I love making characters. It's so fun trying to tell a story with them. I love it. When it comes to making the character, I think my favorite parts have always been the hair, because hair is so much different from any other body part. It's just it flows. It can be like so many different colors, um, and it allows you to give your character so much movement. And with hairstyles, you can like do so much with like the character's personality. I I love doing the hair, even though it's kind of hard sometimes. And the other thing that I really like is the clothing. I love designing their clothes. I like dressing them up. I think it's really fun. Because once again, you can do so much with clothes. Um, to express their personality. Environments are also really fun to do. I enjoy doing environments. Um, dun, dun, ah, 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 dun. Let's see, come on, load. Environments like these. But I like making environments around the character. So these two characters, and I made an environment around them. I also have this other environment. Kind of like coming up with like a bedroom or a kitchen or making a room somewhere, and sometimes making like a painting of like a landscape with a character within, and try to tell a story about the character or the world they're in. That's also really fun, but it's a lot more like complicated to me, a bit more stressful to me than designing a character. So making characters is like my safe space, and making environments for them is like my challenge. But they're both just my favorite things ever. I love art. And if I can, throw in a little bit of like education into my art and teach about like, biology, because I really like biology and animals, or like teach about like mythology and history, then I think that's a win. I think that's amazing. Oh, I took this line art and got an AI to color it for me, and this is what it came up with. And then for this one, I gave the AI a color scheme, and I told it like I gave it like a general idea of where I wanted the colors to be, and this is what it made. So it's good to know that computers won't be taking my job as an artist anytime soon. What are we working on? Yes, here. I'm pretty excited because there's like a roller skating rink nearby here. And I've never been there, and I'm planning on going. Hopefully this weekend, or this next weekend, I mean. And I've never actually been to a rink, so I'm excited to see how it is. Um, I've never really roller skated with somebody else. I'm afraid I'll bump into someone else. But I'll do my best. Hopefully it shouldn't be too full with like COVID and stuff. Professional streamer, you guys. I also just really enjoy adding elements of like fiction into my work. Because like, I mean, this isn't super like fantasy, or I mean, fantasy and fiction. It isn't super fantasy. I feel like cat girls aren't very fantasy. Um, but yeah, it's still not like a real thing. But I like, for example, here, I could have just made them like normal people, but I made them like tieflings because I think it's more fun. And I like that kind of like combination of like having a modern room, I like modern, more like realistic bedroom, but then having like fantasy characters living within them. It's kind of like a bit of an urban fantasy, I guess.
Well, I'll get straight to the point. I found marijuana in the house. And while I never thought of myself as the type of father who'd have to drug test his kids, I'm willing to do just that if that's what it takes to find out who brought a joint into this house.
Dad, Lucy found something too.
Dad, I found a joint in Mom's dresser drawer.
I could do to get these two actually nicer. It's a circular ruler. We need to get tired. Not sure in a very long time. Is your profile picture another OC? It is. Yeah, I'll show you. Give me a second. can get rid of these two. I don't actually want to keep them. And then for reference, you can get rid of that one. And here, open. So the profile picture is like a watercolor version of it, of that character. But this painting and this painting are go together. Yeah, tribe teach. They're two, so I said I teach, duo teach. I don't know. But they go together, and it's this character. In the PFP, yeah, it kind of looks like you. Cause of the hair, it does, yeah. These they're like based on the characters I made for my friends Nina, Chloe, and then this one's my character. So they're supposed to be, I guess, representative of us. So yeah, it's supposed to kind of look like me, but it's a girl. So yeah. Yep. Actually, a bit crazy. Oh god. I'm sorting through some files. The original one. Here. It's the original one. And these are the other characters. And this one's a fourth one that we made for another friend, but she wasn't like that she was like friends with the other two way before I was friends with them, but I didn't really know her as well when I made these two paintings. So I added her in later when we became better friends with her. One, I guess we're the three of them are my best big friends in the world. I guess I love them so much. Yeah, that's the characters. Yeah, hair's like I guess the hair does look like me. I don't actually really love my hair all that much. It's I think it looks bad like this, but I also really don't like having my hair short. So like I keep it like this because I think it feels better. But I know it looks bad. Maybe this I think it looks bad. I don't know. Maybe somebody else likes it. I'm planning on rejoining my profile pictures soon because I like that one, but I want to make I want to make like another digital piece of that character for my profile picture. Let's see, what else can we work on? Any of these layers can we... I guess I can put... make a folder for the guitar. R. There. There. And then a folder for the hoodie. Hoodie. And go there. There. And then I'm actually gonna make the nails in the same layer as the hair. Which she doesn't have nails painted in this one, so I have to bring up another reference. This one's an older painting, and at this time I still hadn't like really solidified kind of like facial features, so it looks kind of weird, but I think it's still very good. I was trying to experiment with like making patterns, so I gave her kind of like harem pants, because I really like just I think harem pants tend to have really cool patterns. You mainly draw girls, right? I do. It's not the first time somebody's asked me about that. There's a reason, but it's very private. I mean, there's multiple reasons for that, but it's very, very private, one of them. The other one is just like, I think it's just more fun. I like drawing girls. They're so cute. I have a thingy on my finger that hurts. Like paper cut. Making sure just saturated. Bottom of the nail. We've been going for 250, almost 3 hours. Okay, I think we're gonna be finishing here because I'd like to go for longer and it's actually working the guitar and face and render the skin a little bit and great. But I haven't streamed for a while, so my stamina isn't what it used to be. um Not tired, so we're gonna really be ending for now. If you guys like my work, make sure to follow my socials. If you guys want to hang out, then do join that Discord. I'll be posting all my art in socials and Discord, and I'll be posting announcements for whenever I go live there and all that good stuff. We can also just chat, have fun. I'd like to get you to know all you better. We sometimes do movie nights. We haven't done it in a while, but maybe I'll bring it back if enough people are interested. If you guys really like my work, and we got a Patreon. So yeah, thanks for all the follows, and thanks to Brandon for subscribing earlier today. I really appreciate it. Every subscription is absolutely amazing, and I'm so glad that you guys. But just overall, thanks to everybody who came. I love you all. If any of you have any do art, then feel free to drop it on the Discord. I'd love to see it. I'll be posting the week for this on Discord too. And I hope everybody has a good night. We're gonna be raiding somebody. Here's our raid call. You guys can copy and spam that on the people who we raided. See ya, Crusader. Thanks for coming by. It was nice having you. I think we're gonna go for, let's see, who is live at the moment. There has a suggestion for who should we raid, then I'll take it. I'm gonna go for Kuya. I haven't talked to them in a long time, so yeah, I think let's go for Kuya. Kuyapi. They're also an artist. They're a good friend of mine. So good night, cuties. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Rating Kuya. So make sure to copy the raid call. And see you all later this week. Night, cuties.